thank you, Susan, for this incredible series, the Coastal Cafe at Rio Carrabelle. Isn't this great? Yeah. This is fabulous. And thanks to each and every one of you for being here. I so appreciate it. Sometimes when you see writers and the written word, people get a little nervous, I think. And I'm really glad that you came out tonight on this Friday night. And just incredible local talent, incredible talent that lives so close. We have Ian Baird, Dean Newman, and then we're going to have Andy Morris, Susan David, and Frank Lindemuth. Start off tonight with it's a creative nonfiction story, and it's set in Ball Point, which many of us know. I just think it's a riot that these guys come up here, they have nothing, right? Dean comes up here, he's got his guitar. Ian comes up here, he's got his binder. I come up here, I have 3 pocketbooks. And then I have to remember where I put everything. All right. Now, this is called In the Presence of Grace at Bald Point. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, great. This is well, it's an essay, really, but I don't like that word essay. I do like the word story. It's in Between Two Rivers anthology, Stories from the Red Hills to the Gulf, that Susan Cerulean, Janice Ray, and Laura Newton edited several years ago. Great people in here. Jack Rudlow's in here, Susan Cerulean, Bruce Means, and just a lot of wonderful writers.
You?
Aw, who said that? Was that Charlie? Was that Charlie? Charlie, you get a star. Get a star. I know. Yeah, I can't get rid of it. Especially after I talked to my mother on the phone. In the Presence of Grace on Ball Point. I'm walking on Ball Point with my bull terrier Lilybelle, just us on the long curved beach. Closer to the road, hammers pound and the shrill whine of a drill cuts through the early January afternoon. The sand is shadowed with midday beige tones. In a few hours, it will glow in shades of orange. Gulls glide over unseasonably warm ocean currents. Just last week, I escaped the landlocked snowy terrain of central Wisconsin. I am happy to be here. I stare out into the Gulf, hungry for the sight of all that water. An occasional pelican dips for a fish. As I scan the waves, picking out the fishing birds, a large dark shape emerges and floats about a half-mile down the beach from where I stand. I want it to be the thrill of a dolphin or sea turtle and wonder if I am divining outlines that are not there. It could be a buoy or a fisher's large crab trap. To my eyes, it is moving. Lilybelle and I continue west along the shore. As we get closer, the Gulf lapping alongside us, I discern that the dark contour definitely moves. I can't make the lines connect and keep on walking in its direction, conscious of my dog running off to the side toward the sparse pines and low dunes. Now I am close enough to know by its fluid movements that it is alive. My mind tries to make sense of the bulk. Could it be a monstrously huge Hounds of Baskerville mongrel of a dog? A horse that fell off a strange boat like the shipwrecked Spanish ponies that made it to shore a couple of centuries ago? It's too tall and wide for a gator, which will at times swim in the Gulf from marshes or rivers on its way to fresh or brackish waters. Maybe it's a beached whale, although I've never heard of them swimming into Appalachia Bay. The construction sounds stop. Lilybelle has come back to nose along the shore. The rhythm of the low tide waves and the caw of the gulls accompany us as we walk toward the mystery. About 1/8 of a mile away, I see it and pull Lilybelle close to my side. I can't believe it. It is a black bear, walking and wading slowly, laboriously, on 2 legs through shallow water toward land. The construction workers who have been building the colossal house that has been dubbed the Fortress, we know that house, move as a group to the beach. A half dozen of them, sweaty in shorts, t-shirts, work boots, and bandanas, converge with us next to a low dune. We all stare quietly at the bear, about 30 yards out in the water. It's the first time I've seen a bear in the wild, one says. The rest of us nod, murmuring, yes, me too. A man in his 30s, barefoot, his pants rolled, joins us. He had been checking his new lot when he saw the bear. A woman who lives next to the beach, observing it closely for years, and her neighbor's 12-year-old son also reached the group. She says she's been watching the bear swimming and fishing through the morning. She tells me I'd better hold tight to my dog. Lilybelle is at my legs, twisting her body from side to side, her mouth wide open, panting, excited by the number of possible petting hands. I wrap her leash around my hand. The woman and the boy have been looking for the bear's paw prints in the dune to see from which direction it came. They tried to educate me on the print patterns, but I'm not getting it and keep finding large dog tracks instead. Looks like it came down from here, the boy shouts, showing us strange marks in the sand. The prints are distinct, rounder and stouter than the dog's. The imprints of the nails long, narrow, and curved, evidence that this Ursa Minor did not emerge from the sky or the waves. The woman tells us that over the years here, she has seen a few black bears, and that they sometimes swim from Ball Point to Alligator Point, a distance of at least 8 miles. The boy has a camera, but the animal is too far out to get a clear photograph without a zoom. It doesn't matter. We all drink in the bear's image with our eyes. How long has it been trying to make it in, I ask. One of the workers says, for a long time, and we wonder if it may be in trouble. However, as we watch it get closer, its clumsy movements become quicker, and its slow motion progress becomes more fluid. I clutch Lilybelle, as suddenly the large, lumbering bear reaches the shoreline. As soon as it frees the water, it becomes a different animal, drops fast on all fours and races for the dunes. Before I take another breath, it's over the hill of sand and gone in the spill of pines. We stand under the bright winter sun as the last impression of the wild black bear disappears. Then slowly, we begin to rustle, talking in small sounds, snatching quick looks into each other's eyes. Nodding, the construction workers start to leave, back up the beach to the fortress. The boy promises to send photographs of the bear prints. Reluctant to go, I talk to the barefoot man about the gator that lived in the marsh near his lot, Lilybelle dancing around my legs. Finally, when the sun is too far to the west, I gather my dog, and we return to the small, almost hidden parking lot. I brush the ubiquitous sand from her coat, stomp it from my shoes, and then drive home past the workers. They hoot and holler and wave from their perches on scaffolds. I holler from the car window, beeping my horn. Since that day, I've followed stingrays and been followed by dolphins at the shoreline. I've rescued and released gulls, pelicans, and a red-shouldered hawk. I've seen a sleek black otter on Alligator Point, moved gopher tortoises from one side of Alligator Drive to the other, and one morning watched as a juvenile gator pulled itself across the road. I've held my breath as a red fox drew close to my porch, watched white squirrels on my patio, found deer prints near the little earthen pool in the back. I've heard at Ball Point there are panthers, coyotes, and rattlesnakes, one diamondback that reaches 8 feet across. I know there once were 12,000 black bear in Florida, and now there are about 2,000. Their numbers decreasing largely due to real estate development and lack of open land. And I know how the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says seeing a bear in the wild is a rare sight that eludes most Floridians. When bears are seen in the wild, it's usually from the back end as they run away. Yet, I am still wide-eyed with possibility as I walk the blessed, often deserted beaches of Ball Point, hoping for another Florida black bear to make its way through the waves as a straggly group of humans watches in spontaneous community. That's why we live here, right? Yeah. The forgotten coast, we're glad it's forgotten. And up by